I'd like to welcome you to the show, to the show, to the show. Introduce you to me, introduce you to me. Hope you like what you see, baby, hope you like what you see. I would like to welcome you to the show, to the show, to the show. Introduce you to me, introduce you to me. Give me something to talk about, talk about. I'd like to thank you all for coming out tonight. You're looking so nice.
Good evening. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Saturday Convo. I am your host, Big Red, along with my co-host, Tony Tom.
Welcome.
And Relly Bell's in the house.
Yeah.
And tonight, this afternoon, good evening, I don't know.
Told you a little off.
I am off today. Today we're talking about autism. And I think it's a very good thing. We was going into it. So let's just jump right into it. So, Saturday Convo. And today we're going to converse about autism.
Saturday Convo, Living Room TRT,
Shout
WTRT, 87.9 on your radio.
Longfellow Radio. So anyway, I like that, Tom. I like that. So we was having a conversation about autism. I had asked you what high functional autism was. Can you just run through it again?
Well, my basic understanding is that there's different levels of autism, and someone is high functional, they could sometimes even be seen not to have autism because they have very normal movements and actions. But I guess if being in company with them for long periods of time, you probably would see certain signs of their illness or disorder, I should say.
Is it an illness?
I believe it's a disorder.
It's a disorder.
But that would take more studies.
It's a disorder. Why do they call it high functional though?
Because they function. They're able to function. There are some levels that where the child or even the adult is not functional. Probably can't feed themselves at times. Probably couldn't do the normal things like maybe go to the store or like do dishes or clean up or do homework or even play to a certain extent without irritableness setting in. That's just some of the things that I've seen, just personal views
Of high functioning.
of autism, period. Because I have a nephew I have two nephews that have autism, and one is actually high functional, and the other one's not, like he's low functional. He's just not as high functional as the older brother.
Right. In a situation like that, with a high functioning, it's like, are they able to sign their name? And what separates them? That's what I'm saying. Because if they're high functioning, they're able to understand the
Most of them that are high functional are, I believe, as I say, I only speak from my own opinions and what I've seen and experienced, is those are the ones that have a better chance of, I don't know if you can call it coming out of autism,
Right.
or just being normal.
That was my next question too.
Coming out of it, because I think that's why you high functioning, because it's like you have a chance. Because it's like how they do is they evaluate you. So I guess it's like your IQ level. So you have an IQ level that's a certain level. I think it's like 70 or something,
Right.
or 50 or something that consider you, whatever, high function, low function, or whatever. So I think you're right. It's like when you're higher functioning, you have a chance of, kind of reversing or growing out of it.
I know.
Not to cut you off, but to answer Rel's question, according to the survey, their IQ of 70 or greater is what they will call them high functional autism.
Right.
Wow, that's man. You know what? I never knew that's what that was. I never knew that.
So the ability to learn is never
Yeah.
closed. The door is never closed to learn something.
It could begin in early childhood years. Are you born with it?
Most that I know are born with it.
Right.
I didn't know you can actually develop it. But if you did, I guess it would be at an early age.
How do you develop autism?
Well, we would have to search and do our homework. I don't know exactly.
Right. And then, I asked it, me, I'm always asking a medical question, because I asked, is it a possibility that there's a certain type of marijuana that could change or help autism?
I don't
To
know.
me, it's functioning of the brain. Am I correct? Is
Well,
or is
it's
it
the
more
inability
right?
to for the brain to, I guess, do certain functions or send messages to you to do certain functions, basically, something like that.
At a slower rate than
At
normal?
a slower rate, or probably not at all. Because I know, and piggybacking on what Rel said earlier, as far as the tests that are done, I know there's hand and eye coordinations and things like that also give the signs of autism, or the signals from the brain are not being received to do certain movements.
It says restricted and repetitive behavior vary greatly across the autism spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
They can conclude repetitive body movement, rocking, flapping, spinning, running, and back and forth. Oh, that's what that when you see a
Kids
lot of
that
yes,
can't stand still.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
it don't have to be ADD, but I don't. That's another
yeah,
question.
that's yes.
The connection between, or the difference between ADD and autism.
Yes.
Or is ADD a part of autism? I don't know. That part I don't know.
Because that was my next question. That's why I never even figured on the word autism. I always figured on it to be but I know a lot of people, and to come to think about it, I know a lot of people whose children have autism, and I just didn't really pay attention to it because I didn't know the proper word for it. So you know what? When you're ignorant to something and you see a child, the first thing a person will say, he'll use the word retarded.
You judge them.
Right.
You judge them unwisely.
Because
you don't know.
Right.
Yeah. You see them lacking. You see them in what looks like they're lacking when you're the lacking to have the understanding of what he's going through.
So my thing is there a big difference between being retarded and autism?
I don't know, because I don't know what the actual definition of being
retarded
retarded is.
Let me look it up.
I mean,
I feel like everything is based on IQ level. So retardation is probably classified once you're at a certain IQ level. So autism probably wouldn't classify you because you're probably still at a certain IQ level.
but I've seen kids that are strongly autistic.
Right, with a high IQ level.
No. I mean strongly where they don't have their functions and they have to be held on to like 95% of the time.
Right.
Or they'll do or hurt themselves. Now that's when you're fully autistic, and
Yeah, but then you have a case where it's like that same kid, you gotta watch him all the time. But if the teacher put work in front of him, he could do it. He can answer you a question. He could do all this. But it's like, yeah, if you leave him alone by himself, you know what I'm saying? He can't really.
No, a lot of them actually like to be by themselves.
No, yeah, they like to, but you can't leave them by themselves.
Oh no, because you gotta watch them, because they'll go out a door and just keep going because they have no sense of direction. And as I was looking into, it said the spectrum disorder typically has some degree of impairment in communication. That's another thing. That's another one of the signs when the child is not communicating properly at a certain age.
Right.
So that's another one of the signs.
So they not to change the subject, but they explain retardation as the action of delaying or slowing the process of development of something. So they don't actually call it autism, because according to what autism is
that autism or retardation?
that's retardation.
Okay.
I didn't want to look up the word retarded itself because I felt like it was a word used to describe a situation, and I felt like that was an inappropriate word. I should actually look up mental retardation because it actually gives you an IQ. So, most affected individuals have mild mental retardation, has an IQ of 50 to 70. Mental retardation is defined by tested IQ between 35 to 40 and 50 to 55. Mental retardation is defined by the tested IQ of between 20 to 25 and 30 to 40. Wow. So I guess if you're at anywhere between the IQ of 50 to 70, you're considered moderate. So I guess you considered to have autism too at that time. But if you have an IQ of anywhere between 35 and 55, you can be in severe damage. Anything below 40, I guess you're considered
Mentally retarded?
mentally retarded, yes.
Okay. What other kinds of retarded is there other than mental?
Severe retarded, that's what they're calling it.
Do they give any explanation or definition, I should say, on severe retarded?
No, they don't give you too much on severe retarded. They do give you symptoms on some of the most common signs of intellectual disabilities are rolling over, sitting up, crawling and walking late, talking late or having trouble with talking, slow to master things like potty training, dressing, feeding himself or herself, difficulty remembering things, inability to connect action with consequences. Some of that I don't believe. I'm sorry.
There's also something I never heard of before also. Not to get up, well, it's on the same subject. It's called Applied Behavior Analysis, ABA. Applied Behavior Analysis is the application of the law and scientific principles of behaviorism to produce positive meaning change. ABA therapy is an effective therapy for helping individuals with autism lead meaningful lives and become happy, engaged members in their community. So they do have special programs, which we know that they do for the autistic. It take a special teacher, a special kind of person to deal with that on a daily basis. That I do give props to. Because to deal with autistic kids all day, every day, that takes a lot. That takes a lot of patience.
I said that there are a lot of parents out there that I know who deal with that all day. Man. That is rough. That is rough. I didn't even know about this ABA.
Yeah. Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. This is kind of it's kind of interesting. It says when a behavior is followed by something that is valued, a person is more likely to repeat that behavior. Over time, this encourages positive behavior change. You know,
Excuse me.
You know, how funny it is that when you look at it, when you have kids who have mental deficiencies, how they always apply the same thing. It's basically the same thing. Everything is the same. How come they don't have a common word for it? Why does they have a category for everything?
Because I don't think when they came up with what was the first not autism, what was the other one we came up with? Mental
retardation.
Yeah, that's been out since since over 50 years. I'll say it like that. Autism, I don't know if that breakdown or definition of that disorder, which also has to do with the same thing. I don't know how long that exists, that word or that description.
Mental category. I mean, different categories because it's different levels of mental illnesses.
Right, but
mental disorders.
It seemed like they just changed the name.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, they changed the name, but they're going according to IQ and how you basically could cope with real life reality things. So I feel like how we were discussing where you have one kid who he might could do classwork all day, but he could bust somebody upside the head and not realize like
that's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah. So it's like at the end of the day, couldn't be classified all the way as mentally retarded. You would classify him something a little bit higher because his IQ is a little bit higher, but his ability to cope with things is different. So you categorize that as autism, I guess, or whatever other names they have for mental illness.
Yeah. So instead of calling him mentally retarded, he's not mentally retarded.
Right.
He just has autism.
So now it's a different level. Like, all right, so now he may be able to do one of the other things.
But autism do have those levels in which he spoke of, which describes mentally retarded.
Yeah, that's why it's level. So now you be like, boom, he's a low functioning autistic person.
When does he cross the line into mentally retarded?
That's what I said.
That's why I want to know where's the line at.
Well, and your ability to cope with reality.
According to them, there are 4 levels of mental retardation.
Okay, that's what I was waiting for.
There's mild, there's moderate, there's severe, and then there's profound, which I don't really understand myself. Sometimes ID may be classified as unspecified. ID involves both low IQ and problem adjusting to everyday life. So what about a person who just can't get right?
That's not even funny.
No.
I laughed. I said I laughed.
It's a form of speech we use for a person who knows he's doing wrong and just keeps doing wrong.
No.
That's what I'm saying, because to you think he know he doing wrong, but he probably doesn't.
I was about to say, I kind of disagree with that.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Somebody that can't get right.
Right.
They can't get right.
They can't get right.
They
because
can't
they don't
get right.
Understand.
Yeah, they don't have the concepts to
wrong.
get right.
Yes.
Now, somebody that just continue to mess up, I was about to curse.
F up.
Yeah. Effing, like we like to.
I'm listening, guy.
That's a whole nother story. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's totally it.
Y'all listen to Saturday Convo. We're gonna take a station identification. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. It's all right, bro. That's Saturday Convo.
2 minutes.
Why we ain't on camera? We can roll right in. Yeah, because I like what you were saying. That's why I kind of.
Nah, because it was like you had asked before. You know, what's the relationship with marijuana and autism?
Right.
Just any mental disorder. But I looked it up.
Yeah.
And it was saying that, you know, they're trying to develop, well, not even trying, they have strands of marijuana that's low in THC, the stuff that actually gets you high, and high in the CBDs, which is the stuff that actually heal you and make you feel better.
Right.
So they have strands of marijuana that they have been experimenting over years with people with autism and stuff like that.
I bet you they have that too. I bet you they have marijuana that could definitely fix autism.
Even now, maybe not fix it because it's maybe not a fixable thing, but
maybe open up that valve of your
Okay.
That person.
Here come the professor.
No, not really. What I believe, the effects and the good parts or whatever, or what can come from using the weed, marijuana or whatever they want to call it, is the substitute for the drugs that they are getting. So regardless to what the fact is, if they can get marijuana or the CBD to work to substitute the drugs and their side effects,
right,
then I can see that. But not curing them, but at least giving them a natural sedative, if that's what the pills that they're receiving. That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, now that you really think about it, with like mental disorders being like so high in America right now, it seems like it's understandable why they're legalizing marijuana and probably going to put a lot of restriction on, you know, what the level of THC is in the marijuana that is going to be distributed. That's what people don't understand, because you know, like I said, the CBDs, you could buy that in a store in an oil form. They're selling that now. Like anyway, you could go in your regular store and get a CBD oil for yourself, and you know what I mean. You be puffing it in the oil right now. That's everywhere. So,
man, that's your phone.
I think that was a good.
Ain't nobody heard that but you.
Everybody can hear the.
I think it was a good thing to bring up, man, because I think
might have been part of the amplified system or something.
Now, I was looking up autism and cannabis. Now, I'm looking it up. There's an article, How Does Cannabis Consumption Affect Autism? There's an article written May 19, 2016 by Jeremy Carson. Kossen, Jeremy Carson, Jeremy Kossen. He said autism is a collection of disorders that impact brain development characterized by communication difficulty, social interaction problems, and repetitive and something injurious behaviors. Go ahead, what you was about to say?
That everybody don't hear as fast as you talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe some older people listening, like, what he said? I'm sitting next to you and was about to say what he said.
But it does say...
We know you can read.
Oh, no, but
so
it does...
slow it down just a little bit?
I'm sorry. It does say that it does help. And Terrell is right. They did a lot of research on trying to see if this could... Right. Okay, Terrell, you're actually right, because it says in doing the researches, they have found children with the autism of CBT. They try to use the CBD oil, and the reports were positive results. So it can change. They're trying to use a new oil called hemp oil.
I heard of that. That's also for something else.
It says in an experiment of using hemp oil, after 3 weeks, the child went from being nonverbal to developing significant language skills.
Oh, wow.
But once again, it's an experiment. But I believe. Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, I was gonna say I would rather experiment with something natural than with something that's gonna give him another side effect, him or her, give them another side effect that they're gonna need another medication for that side effect. That's my interest in it.
This is interesting.
If the CBD can substitute the medication, that's what I would like to see.
The problem is, can you give children marijuana?
It's not marijuana. You give them CBD.
Okay, the extract from the marijuana.
You give them CBD, which is a natural healer.
This might work,
From as we do more and more
research and what we reading.
Is in marijuana, but it's just that people
that's just like, okay.
They want the high THC, but CBD is what heal you. Then that's why they allowing it in your.
Now they're gonna extract it, like you said. They're gonna extract the THC.
I think they did it already.
Buy different flavors so that it's like if it tastes. I seen the joint in the store. It's cornflakes, fruity pebbles.
Oh hell no!
You
really?
It is like it's CBD right there for you.
You know what I think? I think we really need to do a real educational show on marijuana to really let the people know what it's capable of. It's more than just a recreational high.
So the ones that's totally against it can understand.
The
concept.
concept.
I don't think there's so much people that's totally against it in this day and age, because honestly, it's like marijuana and weed, whatever you want to call it, it's been around for ages, and everybody and their moms done at least took one tote of, some marijuana before.
Still taking that one.
And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody, no significant cases. I never heard of nobody getting harmed over marijuana or anything like that. Maybe
I ain't never seen nobody go to the hospital and say, "Oh, he got marijuana overdose."
He got too crazy high and he had to go to the hospital. You get too high, you go to sleep, or you sit yourself down, get you something to eat or something like that. Regular things.
Give you something to eat.
It's funny, as a person who used to coach in the boys club, you used to have these high functional kids. These kids, that really couldn't sit down, and they constantly had to have movement. As I see them now, in their late 20s and early 30s, a lot of them smoke marijuana, and a lot of them went on to do successful where they weren't really successful in school. I guess is when they started smoking marijuana, and one of the guys explained it to me. He said, "You know what? That actually calms me down. It brings me to a certain level where my mind can function different." He said, "Yes, I may be high, but I can hear things that I normally wouldn't hear in my normal state." And I said, damn, I never even thought about it like
You
that.
know how it was perceived to me that you can look at yourself from the outside.
But that's why the world needs to really
Smoke
look-
more weed.
Not really
No.
smoke more weed, but just like understanding the science of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. That's
like,
what I
and
was just
think
thinking.
That's why, like, you know, dispensaries and state that legalize it, and they really have it for you, where it's like, you know, like a supermarket where you could go in there and really pick it out and let a person who's, I want to say, a herbalist. I don't know what you would call.
Yeah,
you,
I think I would go with
person
that, a
who's
herbalist.
Really, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Understanding the science of marijuana. You need to know the science because
The different grades
a
of the
lot of
herb
people,
and all
yeah,
that.
different strands and what
Or the
different strands
weed,
do.
as
Like,
y'all call it.
I know somebody who got strawberry banana. Now that strand right there of strawberry banana, that makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? So you have different strands that do different things for you, and
Do it actually make you happy?
I feel like it probably do.
Okay.
It boosts up your happiness and your creativity.
Well, see, that's a test we would have to look on the thing and see how many people they tested that was totally angry, but after they had some of that, they was
But I don't
happy.
think it's a test to see. I think see what marijuana.
I would like to put a
think
test, get about
the
25
experiment
people.
goes by the grower. The
I got-
grower is the experimental person. See, I'm a
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
a grower.
That's
a
I'm
good
gonna sit
point.
there and
That's
I'm
a
gonna
good
smoke
point.
the strand. I'm gonna have my friends smoke the strand before I even distribute it to anybody.
Right.
Before I let anybody know this is a strand, and then boom, let them tell me maybe 10 people. Alright, out of 10, 9, 8 said it make them happy, make them creative. 2 didn't. So you can't say automatically it's gonna be like that for everybody, and that's anything in life. You know what I'm saying? Some people could eat McDonald's all day and never get big, and somebody else will get big with 2 burgers.
There's a girl at my
automatically.
job like that.
Yeah,
She can
so
eat all day.
everything
She
is-
look like she hungry because she's so thin, but she eats all day.
Everything is different for everybody. I know a girl who eat a burger in the morning. She's not big at all. She eat burgers in the morning. Can't believe it.
Everybody's
I could never.
metabolism is different.
Everything is different. How you receive information, how you do
And it
everything.
depends
got a
on how
question.
active they are in their life.
I got a
also.
question. With these dispensaries, say you get a person who's high functioning, but he's not. He doesn't have autism. He just, what do they call the people that can't sit still? They got.
They the same thing, ADD or
Yeah,
autism.
got some type
Is
of
he allowed?
disorder.
If he walks into a dispensary and he buys?
He can't walk in and buy anything because don't you got to have a
No. When it's they're opening up,
okay.
they're opening up the recreational side of the dispensary.
okay? They did say they was trying that.
Yes.
Right?
So what I'm saying to you, can a person like that, if he walks into this dispensary, he's able to purchase. They say to him, "What would you like?
Mm-hmm.
What is your problem today? What would you like to be happy? Would you like to
Or they probably have a little
It's like, I ain't gonna
a
lie.
list?"
a manual. They
Right,
have a little
right,
manual
right.
you can
Right,
go
I
and look
never
inside.
been to a
Say
dispensary.
Hold on, guys. Say it
That's
again.
what I feel like.
One at a time. Cause
I
Said
said
it.
that, son.
this
no,
is
no.
good.
I was saying they're gonna have a manual where they can say, "Oh, I want some." What you call it? A
Strawberry
vanilla,
banana.
strawberry vanilla happy.
Nah, strawberry banana.
Strawberry banana. I take some strawberry banana.
But you got to
today. I'm
remember
not
what
feeling
Terrell
good.
said, though. He said that there are strands that they use for each part of the body, what you may need.
Yeah.
Right, that's what he said.
That,
So
but
I'm
no,
mad.
that's not on the recreational though. Recreational, you order what you
Yes,
want.
yes, it is, because if I'm pretty sure.
Right, yeah, I see what Tom's saying. See, like, if you get a medical,
You're
you know,
coming
a
directly
medical
for
card,
that.
You only could get what you like medically
Right.
prescribed.
What
for.
you coming for? Oh, you probably could buy it in the recreation, but you got to know what it is already.
Yeah.
I guess you're gonna compare how much your insurance gonna cover and how much it's not gonna cover. Because
Right.
I can go buy a recreational for about $45.
But that's what I'm
You telling
saying.
me I'm gonna have a copay of $30 with you if I go with
But
the
that's what
insurance.
that's my whole point. What
Then
I'm
the
saying.
recreational might be stronger.
If this guy goes to
Definitely gonna be
if this
strong.
person goes to the doctor and the doctor's prescribing him, he says he has whatever y'all call that, HD, whatever, and he says, well, you know what, you could take this pill, and he said, nah, I could go to the dispensary and buy it from the
No,
dispensary.
you don't say nah. You say, is there instead of the pill? Thank you, Ralph, for the help.
Is there any
If there's an alternative of some CBD that I can
The
get.
thing about it is why I think it's a little bit tricky with that, and with everything is because they already have like a CBD at the store. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like you could go to the store right now and buy CBD. Like I was walking on, what is that, 163rd and like 3rd Avenue, and there's a store that this man got the glass joint and all just CBDs, pre-rolls and all that. Pre-roll CBDs.
And he's got it in the window.
In the window.
163rd and 3rd.
Whatever it is about like Subway, right across the street from Subway and all that.
You know, right there. Right there,
Right,
across the street,
21
where all
buses
that
out.
little interjection be at, right there, across from little
And it's like, I go
chicken
in there,
place,
I
little
never
chicken
buy
place.
Wait. Oh, he's talking about the all-you-can-eat Chinese joint.
I know
No,
what he's
it's
by
talking
the
about.
gas station.
Across the street,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
because the
now
Subway
it's-
and the gas station's on the same side.
Yeah, it's on the same side, but Subway's a little bit more down.
It's more up.
And right across the street from there, there's a store like
That's
you
what
said,
I just said,
in
across the
between
street.
chicken place and like.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
what
but
you're
that,
talking about.
that's on the when you come down at the bottom of the hill,
Yeah.
right on the corner,
Yeah, there's a
right before
chicken,
you make that right, going
so
up
in
the
between
hill,
the chicken spot and the Jamaican spot.
across the street from the bank.
There's a regular store, like you go in there, just grocery store, and this dude got in the
He
glass.
do. It's in the window too. It is.
It's
When you get on,
CBD
when you,
oils.
it's where the 6 bus goes up the hill.
Like I said,
it passes
Oh, it's
right.
on that side?
Yeah, it passes
They got
right
stores
up.
on that side?
Yeah, it's one corner store. It's one corner
No.
store.
Oh, I remember that store.
Well, it's not. It's not on the corner.
There's a couple stores.
It's not on the
Ain't
corner.
there a Chinese restaurant right there?
No.
Chinese restaurant near there though.
I know
It's
because
near there.
Tiny used to
There's
live around the
mad stores
corner.
there, so I can't
My brother-in-law
really
used to
eat.
live around the
Nah,
corner.
look. You know when you come a little further, there's the bus. It's the 6. The bank is here. The store is right here, and then there's another store over here that do the same thing.
I know. What about the store right there where you make
Cause
the turn?
dude up the block is like that too.
Yeah, a lot of them have it, but
On
some of
corner.
them don't have a lot of it. This dude, when I see when I look all the way down,
But that's
where he
act.
got
But
pre-roll CBD.
so that means all you got to do is get it
All
on.
you gotta do is go in that store right there, and it said $20 for a pre-roll. It's like a big, nice size L pre-roll.
And that's
CBD.
legal?
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
know. I'm saying the man selling.
He's not. But wait.
I
He's
mean,
not.
you can just go get high.
Tec- technically, he's not selling marijuana,
yeah,
right?
because it's not with the THC. It's
Yeah.
the CBD.
It's the
That's the stuff
CBD.
that make you feel good, not that get you high.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Oh, okay. So it ain't gonna get
Oh
you fired
shit!
up.
I ain't gonna front. That's brilliant, yo.
So I'm saying now if you're a person with a mental disability,
So wait, what you gonna wait? What are you gonna feel? What do you feel from it then?
whatever you need, like if you have
That shit is
I'm talking
brilliant.
on the side of that recreational.
No, that's what I'm saying. Right now, if you like, say you a regular working man, it's like, damn, my back is hurting right now. I just was on the job. You
I'm gonna go right here in the store.
$20
They ain't gonna know which one is gonna be for that.
No, the CBD oils are for that. That's what this
You're not
CBD
listening
For
to him.
everything.
Yeah,
just-
like
it's
basically it's to make
One
you feel,
kind of oil
one
is
kind
supposed to
of-
do.
It's
Oh,
probably a
okay.
smoking oxycontin, man.
No, I've seen it before.
He said it's a pain reliever.
I know it's.
I said it's
No,
a
they have
probably
it in
like a
both forms.
smoking
They have like
oxycontin.
weed ones and they
Yeah.
have oil ones.
I'm
Oh,
telling you, man,
okay.
you're not
I'm
listening.
trying to listen if you shut up because
But
he
it's
seems to know what you're talking
It's
about.
marijuana
Word.
extracted, the THC.
No, I
extracted,
understand
and
the whole
CBD.
extraction.
I don't
But
understand
thought
if you keep talking.
It was a. Wait a minute.
All right,
I'm
okay.
trying to get the other.
I'm telling you,
That's
fire.
brilliant,
I'm
man.
old school. I'm not into all
go in
that.
there,
Me either.
You go in man stores, you see the oil pens. That's what you put in.
Are these like the Arab stores or like the?
any store? I mean, I've seen it in
Because I see them mostly in the like I don't know what
The
the
ones
I don't
that
want to say
the hookah
Arab.
stores.
Yeah, they got hookah
Mostly
in the
they got the
window.
hookah in the-
you
yeah,
know,
that's what I said.
Because it's vaping now. That's what they call it, vaping.
Yeah, and they saying kids is getting messed up off of that.
I'm saying
Wow.
because they do have.
You have to put that out there.
They do have weed. They do have weed that you can put in the vape, and that weed in the oil form is very strong.
So imagine a parent who has a child with autism
Oh,
and they
see, I
decide to
didn't
go.
know.
They decide to go to these stores and try this stuff, and this stuff actually cures it. Because even if listen, if he's telling you that they're extracting certain stuff out of the marijuana, like the pain,
Yeah, the stuff
that get you
marijuana
high,
helps.
and you know with people like children with multiple sclerosis and things like that, if you go out and you get this stuff to relieve the pain, that relaxes the muscles and things like that. Could this be a way for children who couldn't walk be able to walk, like people with arthritis who get the muscle cramps, or you ever seen people get arthritis so bad that their fingers and they
I had aunts.
so what if they start smoking this stuff? Now what the question is, does this stuff appear in your urine for a person to have to
shouldn't
pass
matter.
the
But I
test?
Shouldn't
think,
matter.
I think
It does matter
I
because
think
that's-
but
that's-
hold on.
it's a
Because
medical-
Hold on,
it does
hold on. It does
does
matter. It
but
does
I think
matter.
They did pass a law recently that you can't be tested for marijuana anymore when you do like drug testing.
Right.
Because it's so legal. Like, suppose you go, you lived in Houston your whole life, or you went to Houston real quick, where that's a state where it's
Right,
legal.
right.
But you come back to get a job in New York, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just too crazy. So I think I'm not sure if that law is for real or not. But
Do you think that parents who have children with autism know this already? Like they know that they could use certain extracts from marijuana that might be better than the medicine that they're using?
I feel like they do because they've been running tests since whatever. There's an article where you just read up to 2019, so I'm pretty sure there's.
We about to become the medical. We about to become the
marijuana. I stand behind what I
doctors.
initially said, though. I stand behind what I initially said.
That I'm with that, man.
What
if the CBD
the marijuana
can replace the medication? That's all I'm interested in. If it can replace the medication, because the medication is doing just as much damage as the drug.
I think any form of marijuana is a medication. I'm
That's
and
the
I'm just
problem
being.
that the person is having.
I'm just saying, even if you smoke it, if you boil it, if you extract it, however you do it, I still believe it's a form of medication in all kind of forms.
The purest form is when it's extracted.
Yes, I do. I understand.
People got to be informed on it more, because recreational people that use it don't understand why they're doing it. So that's giving it a bad.
Honestly, because most people smoke to get high.
Yeah, people. I mean, you could smoke to get high.
Most people smoke to get high.
You gotta understand that it's a different world. That it's like you're not just smoking to get any type of high. You want certain type of highs. You want certain. You know what I mean? And it's like just a science on it where you just don't look bad. Like you know what I mean?
And you know what? You know what's funny? People who smoke cigarettes, they are likely to get certain type of cancers and things like that. Mm-hmm. But regardless of what a person smokes his marijuana in. You never hear a marijuana smoker catching any kind of cancer. They may develop a harsh cough, but I never really, or maybe a bad strep throat. I never really.
Your stuff in
it's cancerous.
Yeah.
But you never really heard anybody who smoked. Like, here's my thing. I'm not trying to be funny, wish nothing bad. Somebody like, let's say Snoop Dogg, and those people who
been smoking for years, supposedly.
Yeah.
And all these years of their life, they never developed nothing bad. Like
and people who smoke cigarettes in 5 years, come on.
But it go both ways, because you have people who smoke cigarettes for years and they good.
So what's in the cigarette that's not in the weed?
Nicotine.
The chemicals, man. What's wrong with you?
No. I'm saying, is it in what you wrap it in? Or is it in the tobacco?
It's nicotine. It's processed.
Nicotine, because nicotine is addictive.
Like they put the nicotine in the tobacco.
And we had this conversation before. Is marijuana addictive? You see? And it's basically the same thing. They're extracting.
Nah, I think marijuana. Marijuana could be addictive. Marijuana could be addictive. Because I think Tone had said it before. It's like
mood swing.
If you ever trying to stop for a job or something like that, and you be like, damn,
you could tell the difference.
Yeah,
you stop. Once you stop, then that's when you could tell the difference. You would think you might even get a little cranky, go through a little withdrawal.
You do everything different in life.
Yeah.
Like when you stop.
I be angry. You pass by.
You sleep different. You walk different. You talk different.
It took me a while to adjust to sleeping when I quit.
So I'm saying.
It took me a while just to sleep. I couldn't sleep for a while.
It's certain things
because that was my sedative to sleep.
They need to legalize it in New York, man, because it's unfair. These other states is living it up right now.
Yeah, shoot, Illinois. Illinois' marijuana legalization bill would allow possession of up to 30 grams.
Did their crime go down?
I don't know. They say nothing about the crime. They saying about how they
you got more people smoking, they got to be chilling.
Shout out to the states that
said they got to be chilling. Wow.
For medical and recreational.
Amen.
Tax, marijuana.
Shout out.
NIDA. They got their own thing now.
I'm just saying, if you smoke, because weed don't make you want to do nothing, it make you want to chill.
Nah, that's not necessarily true, but that's why I said you got to be informed about the weed that you're smoking, because certain weeds make you feel that way. And you got certain weeds that make you want to like.
Yeah, just like they got weed that calm your ass down, they got weed that hype your ass up.
So I said,
just make you want to kill a man.
The strawberry banana make you feel happy. I say I don't know, but it's like it don't make you feel down. You don't feel like you want to sit down. I'm doing a show right now.
I don't want nothing that's gonna perk me up.
Nah, can't
I want something that's gonna mellow me out.
I'm saying
I want to be able to chill.
The reason why weed and marijuana is so like lovely because they got a strand for everything.
Everything.
So you want to wake up in the morning and feel good to go to work. They got a strand for that. You want to come home after the relax and mellow down. They got a strand for that. You know what I'm saying? It's
what
like,
differentiates the strand?
We're gonna become marijuana doctors.
I don't know. That's why I'm saying
we gotta look it up.
As people that smoke marijuana, people that any in the world, we need to all be informed and inform everybody so that we can all be. So I can learn about different strands and why is the difference. Because like I said, the real scientists of the marijuana are the growers because they know, you know what I mean, what seeds can mix and how you can make a different strain because you can't just throw two seeds together and make it work. It's not going to work. It's probably going, you know what I mean, certain seeds that go together probably knock down the post seed level so it's all like garbage. So you got to know what two seeds could go together and things like that and how long it take to grow it and what amount of water and all that type of stuff.
It's about strands. Man, I'm sitting here.
It's like strain.
STRAD. No, that's strains. Strains.
Like strains.
Now I want strains.
AND.
AND?
No, yeah.
Okay.
STRAND. Strain.
It's over 100 strands.
We gotta utilize the technology that we have.
People that's growers, yeah, they do. Like rappers, like the Game, he got his own strand. Man. He probably didn't create it, but he probably worked with a grower and he came up with it and was like, oh nah, this is me. I'm gonna patent this.
So he just grow just one strand?
Yeah. I mean, you could grow other strands as a grower, but me as the person that sell it, I only want this one strand because this, like Wiz Khalifa, he has his own strand. You got Wiz Khalifa Kush.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of that particular strain.
Because whatever two seeds that he put together that nobody else in the world did yet, that produced.
Is it that rare?
It's that rare.
And
it's so rare for me. It's so rare for me that I looked at, when I watched the documentary that different climates produce different weed. Like why people in Cali say right. So that even factors in. So somebody you think in Africa might have terrible weed where they have so much sun and that a specific spot
ain't got
Africa,
the room to grow.
Right.
And the wildness.
Right. So if you hear a strain called African Kush and you thinking like, wow, why would they call it this? Nah, really.
From Africa.
This is from right. You know what I'm saying?
People are they really shipping it in anymore? It's so easy to grow. And I think most of the stuff they getting locally, I guess they could say.
Right, it's probably local. That's why it's over 100 strains because now you can't go get the African Kush because it's like how you gonna get it over here. So now I'm gonna make my own strain, make it just as dope as the
get
African
you some,
Kush, right?
And let's try to mass produce on that that you get.
I probably got an African Kush seed and mix it with another seed that I know
that
can produce it famous.
Did you know that you can grow marijuana in 30-degree weather up north?
Yeah.
Because of the moisture of if you bury the seed low enough, the cold and the snow, it's like a bedded heat underneath. And by the time it reaches springtime, you'll have a full blossom, almost a small tree marijuana within 6 months because of the moisturizer.
I ain't gonna say too much, but me and Terrence did it.
Yo, that's crazy.
We did it.
You could grow marijuana, so you could grow. It don't matter the climate.
It's just that.
And he's right.
That's why I said you just gotta know the science.
He's gotta know the science. Yeah.
Like how you just looked it up. It's like people don't do that. You just smoke every day. Go get what the dude say you got. All right, Bill. Boom. We
gonna call Rel the marijuana doctor.
Nah, I don't want to be that.
You're not. See, there you go. We were just talking about Sydney. Dr. Sidney.
There's a brand out now that just came out called Cannabis Indica. It's a species quite a bit different than the sister Cannabis Savita, both in appearance and effect, taking on much sturdier look. Only ever grow 6 feet tall and typically rated somewhere about 3 feet in height. The indica plant may lack those extra inches, but it certainly makes up for which is dense, bushy appearance that is packed full of delicious colas and nugs. What is colas and nugs?
Buds.
Oh my God.
I mean, that should be self-explanatory. What's wrong?
Maybe I don't want a dispensary. Maybe I want to become a grower.
That's what I'm trying to say. But you become more of a, because the grower is who give it to the dispensary. So he got everything before anybody. And that's how you become.
You get more than one dispensary to sell to. Like you gotta, especially if you grow your shit right.
The only way you have more than one dispensary, you gotta have massive amounts. You gotta have you 2 acres.
I'm pretty sure this growers like that.
That's not true.
Yo, back in the time,
That's not true.
You gotta, if you're supplying them,
hold on.
Amsterdam on how they get their weed. They was flying to people, like how you saying, people with 2 acres of land to go get weed. When it was illegal to do that, they flying helicopters to go to this place and pick up weed.
they stay up under the radar, do what they
You know what I'm
do,
saying? Do
and
what
they
they
drop
do.
it, or they'll drop it certain place where you can come get it
You know
from
what
the
I'm
state.
saying?
That's crazy because there's
Drop it to a boat.
And they got the helicopter parked there, and they flying hiking 17 miles to the middle of
Now they got a
Jamaica
boat.
somewhere.
They drop it in the boat. They don't even bring it all the way to shore.
Get a boat all the way there.
No, not all the way there. I'm telling you, they do the helicopter
Yeah.
all the way close to the land.
To
But
the
don't go
land,
all the way to
yeah.
the land, but drop it.
watch
The
your
boat
hand
takes-
on that fan.
The boat takes it in. Wow, you insured.
Yeah,
Better be. Better be.
Yeah, so,
Yo, that's good, man.
man.
To know that there are other things you can do with marijuana besides get recreational high, I think people need to know that. I don't think a lot of people, he's right, I don't think a lot of people are educated on what you're smoking, how you smoking, what
Yeah,
you
they
buying,
just look
why
at
you
Snoop
buying.
Dogg and like, if he look cool,
Yeah,
fuck
because he
with
look
smoke.
cool, yeah.
But it's like, yo, it's deeper than that.
It's
B.
deeper than
and
that.
it's like, we need to, because it's like the stigma on marijuana is too bad for me, where it's like, you shouldn't feel ashamed to smoke. A cigarette smoker should feel more ashamed than a marijuana smoker.
marijuana
It's the other
smoker.
way around.
You know what I mean?
Cigarette people, they be like outside with it, on the train, they don't care.
Because you gotta hide feeling good.
That's it.
And that's I guess I don't know.
Let me tell you why. It's good not to cut you off. Let me tell you why it's gonna be legal. Because there are studies that have suggest that medical marijuana legalizations might be associated with decreased prescription opioids use and overdose deaths. They trying to break that down so bad. That's why they bringing on this marijuana, because they saying, shoot, if this marijuana could stop these people killing themselves with these pills, they got to do something. And the doing something is going to be making marijuana legal.
And I feel like if they do that, the generations after us, they're going to live long, happy lives. Unlike we had to.
Okay, so now what the pharmaceutical company's going to do? Get acres of
Turn it.
Yeah.
To me, if you got a pharmacy, to me it's easier for you to turn
you're
it to a dispensary.
Right.
It's easier.
Or a dispensary.
You're selling the
I'm
same
talking about
thing.
the process of the pills, the chemicals in the pills.
You know, it's all in the marijuana. You can sell the
You
same
just
thing
do
in
everything
marijuana.
based.
Yeah.
You can sell oils,
Yeah, some people
all
don't
that.
like
Get rid of all the
Some people
materials
don't like
you're
to
getting
smoke,
from.
so some people would take it in the pill form.
But
some
you-
people want it in the tea.
You got to
It's
think
still
about.
weed.
I'm sorry, bro. You got to think about your location and where your pharmacies are at right now. Most of them are located inside your inner cities anyway.
Straight up.
And if you turn those into dispensaries, what do you think your lines are gonna be like? You're gonna have lines. Even the smallest pharmacies.
I understand what you're saying.
Well,
All day is
The
no
multi-billion
no
dollars.
that's
they get
24
from these
hours a day, 360
No,
fucking
they selling
5,
that
man.
24 hours a day. It's
Are
like
you
a
kidding
regular
me?
pharmacy.
If you legalize weed and you tell a man he can have a dispensary, now
They're gonna shut you
the only
down
thing,
certain time.
maybe
Nah,
they
ain't
would,
nah,
maybe
ain't
they
gonna shut
would.
you down. I feel like
It's
for the
gonna
simple
act
fact-
like a store.
But you talking about you get able to open up at 6 in the morning.
okay.
6 in the morning
It's
to
like a
me.
regular store.
It don't matter. Imagine what you could get from 6 in. Come on, man. It doesn't matter. And you talking about, look at, you have these pharmacists, no lie, this is real talk. They're all in our neighborhood. Now, one of them ever went out of fucking business in the last 10 years. None of them has changed, which means the medical field is serious in the inner city, man.
That's my point on how they're gonna.
How many
suffer.
people can you say got high blood pressure? How many people around here use the same medicine who go to all 3 different pharmacies to get different medicine? Some because
Take
it's
7, 8
cheaper.
medicine.
Some because they say it's stronger.
Some of these older women take 7, 8 medicines.
That's what I'm trying to
I
tell
see them
you.
come in the hospital all
So now
day.
you open up a dispensary where you could just smoke one joint. You imagine if an older woman or older person could smoke one joint and feel good for the day.
And check it out. And fall out that chair with her feet shooting up in the air.
Shit.
Damn.
But she be relaxed. She don't have no cramps.
Somebody help my ass
She
up.
able to walk to the store. She might not need that cane until she 85. 90.
Might.
The only problem with it would be the smell and
Yes.
the smoke, because some people
Yes.
just don't like that.
But if they, like you
That's
said,
why
if they
vaping,
doing the vaping or whatever
Right,
of
yeah.
the same potency to do the same thing to the body, there's not much releasing. And
Well-
you know what? They don't need to smoke a joint anyway. They need the purity
Well,
for their pains and
what
whatever.
I'm saying, I get what he's saying, and I think they're gonna come out. I think they're gonna come out with a repellent for the smoke. I believe they're gonna come out with a mist for that.
They can do everything. They
That's
can do
why
like
they're
Vicks.
making it legal.
They can do the Vicks vaporized joint.
All of
have
that.
A marijuana type one.
Yep.
You know, you have
Where it
Vicks
eliminates the
going in
smell.
hand.
Nah, just be like-
Nah, don't eliminate it. Bring the smell. You just all this.
Nah, they gonna have the other joint that just you just shoot yourself in the neck.
Oh nah.
Just be fucked up. Oh,
He watch too
shit.
much TV.
It's like once they start making that, then it's like it's over.
Yeah, it's gonna shoot you in the neck. You saw
I
it.
don't know nothing, but once you got it injected, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
saw
don't
it. It's
need
the
it.
gun.
If
They
you
just
got
put-
it, nah.
yeah, they
If
put
you
the
got
gun
it-
to your head. That shit go.
If you got injected, I don't
want
need it.
it.
Yeah.
Y'all saw the movie.
You saw the movie. I saw you. I didn't see that. I would.
Remember it had the I forgot the name of the movie.
I don't even really like the oils all the way.
Minority Report. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
When they had to change his eyes, he had to have some Chinese man eyes inserted in his substance.
I wonder if a person, a parent who has a child with autism, ever tried that.
Try
Have
what?
they ever tried to extract, like certain, or ask the doctor, or
Google.
It's like I know a person who used to boil like regular weed and give to her son
No,
in the morning.
God bless her. My brother-in-law's mother. She did that. The doctors told her to do that.
She used to boil
There was a certain. She used to boil the weed with a certain wine, and drink the wine, and that's supposed to
She used
ease
give
on the
it to her
pain.
son, her little son.
that it turn colors?
I don't know. I never seen it.
No,
I
I
never
think it
seen
was mostly the same color. It might have got a little darker, but that was it. Cause I've seen it.
I know a girl who did that.
You could drop it. It's like you got to drop a bud, or you got to just leave it in the water and let
Just
it boil
leave it in
out.
the water, let it boil with the wine. That's how they used to do it. Let it boil with the wine. Just drink the wine. Because to drink it just in some water, that ain't gonna taste too great. So they used to boil with the wine.
Crazy.
And you've been listening to Saturday Convo.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing about education is that you can learn every day. You know, and we all just learned something new about
They got a
autism
strand for that too. Opium strand.
and everything else. Join us next weekend when we talk about what we feel and what we like. Until then, people, we gonna holler at y'all. Y'all have one of them blessed days, man.